Hey guys, this is John from Build Better, and today I wanted to do a quick deck tech on our deck from Gen Con, Kingpin. Kingpin was a really fun brew that I came up with at Origins, but I came up with it too late to actually test it, and so we just kind of held off on it until Gen Con. The whole idea of the deck is to survive to level 3 and use your Take Over the World ability to get your locations. Kingpin's level up condition is playing locations, so we have 27 in the deck. We have 4 Wayland, 4 Fist Towers, 4 red, earth, yellow, green, and 3 blue. So yeah, like I said, the plan of the deck is to use cards to buy turns to get you to level 3. The cards that we use to buy extra turns are Iceman, Wasp, CMO Clemens, and Gwynpool. Wasp and Iceman kind of functionally do the same thing. They're there for turn 1 and for turn 2. They can freeze down their biggest guy, or Wasp will eat 2 attacks because of her shrink mechanic. CMO Clemens can pay a earth and a red to heal a wound off of Kingpin, effectively taking your opponent back a full turn, because they can only stun him once per turn. Gwynpool buys you a turn in a different way. Instead of undoing your opponent's stuff, she just accelerates you a turn. So you slap her down on 5 after you've leveled. Next turn you play a location, level up to level 3, take over the world. So the next thing I want to talk about is what we're going to do when we take over the world. We got a 4 or 5 card combo, I guess technically. You need a Valkyrie, an Ashe, a Private Hudson, and 2 Taskmasters. That sounds hard, but it's a lot easier than it sounds, because Valkyrie means that all but her could be in the discard pile, and you can just bring it back from the discard pile. So the way the combo works is you recruit an Ashe, and because of his special orders, you can move him to your opponent's side. Then you recruit a Private Hudson, which we'll be using in just a second. Valkyrie lets you keep recurring Taskmasters from your discard pile. So Taskmaster is where it all comes together. So when Taskmaster comes into play, since your opponent has an Ashe because you gave him one, Taskmaster has special orders, so you get to pass it over to him. Then you get to recruit another Taskmaster, and since he has special orders as well, he gets to go to your opponent's side as well. So then, because of uniqueness, one of them is going to KO. Now when it KOs, because you have Hudson, your opponent's Taskmaster now has Game Over Man. So when it KOs, they take a wound. And since you have 27 resources and you probably played a face down, you have 28, you're able to recruit enough Taskmasters in one turn to kill your opponent. Taskmaster really comes in handy for a lot of other things to set up the game, because the better your opponent's cards are, the better he is. So he lets you buy turns. Taskmaster also helps because we have so many 1-drops in this deck that you can recruit Taskmaster if your opponent has a Timbuba out. It kills your opponent's Timbuba because of his effect, and then you are able to play your 1-drops like Iceman and Cosmo. The reason we have Cosmo in the deck is for things such as Hex and Jessica Jones. Your opponent can't use yellow abilities, because we have 2 major yellow abilities that we use in this deck, and Take Over the World and Choser of the Slain. Other little cards we play to kind of help the deck run smoothly is we're playing a 1 of Fang Leviathan, because he puts a wound on your opponent and it buys you resource points later when you're trying to combo off. And also we have Starhawk in the deck, because once you've taken over the world and removed all your locations from your deck, you have a ton of resource points to use, and you never have a dead card that you can't recruit off the top of your deck. So it just lets you dig really hard to get to your combo pieces. So usually you'll take over the world. You'll have a turn after that where you set up the board state by recruiting a bunch of Iceman to freeze your opponent's whole board down, leave him up front, put Wasp up front to protect Valkyrie So you'll have between 28 and 29 resource points. So after Hudson, that lets you recruit between 6 and 7 Taskmasters, which happens to be a magic number because, so if you can recruit X Taskmasters, say X is 7. So X minus 1 is 6. You can do 6 wounds to your opponent. So that was how you kind of figure out if you have the kill or not. The deck was a lot of fun to play. The deck was a ton of fun to play, and the reason we chose it really was because it attacks on a different plane than what most decks were going to be ready for that we thought. And we knew that we could buy a few turns against Thor and it'd be fine. We also knew that a lot of other guys would be probably trying to find decks that would slow Thor down, in turn them wanting to be slowed down. So we knew that there would be some slower paced slower paced decks in the format, and we were hoping to capitalize on that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck tech. If you have any questions about the deck, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and we will see you guys next time.